Hello everyone and welcome to another UK Gaming Network Top 5. I'm Zoidberg. After the hectic October, November has slowed things down considerably, with less releases but no noticeable drop in the quality. Obviously the most exciting thing to happen this month was the release of DLC for Overcooked, but we're not here to talk about that and instead cast our critical eyes over the brand new games that arrived in stores and marketplaces over the past 30 days. Whether they were long-awaited blockbusters, emerging from early access, big budget franchise releases or simply coming out of nowhere, there's been some great games for us to play. Reissues, remakes and re-releases are not included, and we can also only include games that we've actually played. So as you reminisce about your Movember stubble, sit back as we guide you through our favourite games of November 2016.
Number 5.
Away from the Elite series, Frontier Developments have made a name for themselves as a very reliable independent developer, producing some of the better Kinect games for Xbox, as well as a huge number of Tycoon games. Planet Coaster has taken all of that experience and poured it into the most downright enjoyable park management simulator since Bullfrog's Theme Park. It has everything that you would want and expect from the genre, but crucially it's really simple to grasp regardless of your level of experience. Starting from scratch and building your own park is where you will spend most of your time, and the level of freedom offered to personalise every single aspect is incredible. There's a huge number of ride types available, but it's the roller coasters themselves that are the big draw, and constructing, refining and perfecting your own is immensely satisfying, thanks to the simple to understand rating system, letting you know exactly what your customers think. We play games like this to sit back, relax and have fun, and Planet Coaster absolutely nails this aspect.
Number 4.
Obsidian are another developer who have recently branched out to do their own thing, with last year's excellent Pillars of Eternity. And now, with Tyranny, they've created another memorable and substantial RPG for the hardcore fans to sink their teeth into. It's a jet black tale, placing you on the side of evil, but the choices that you make throughout mean that you don't necessarily have to stay that way. Even before you begin, the game tasks you with deciding what your character was up to prior to the opening events, and although this can be skipped, it adds greatly to the overall experience. There's a lot here that's similar to Pillars of Eternity, but with a number of improvements and changes that have been made, it still feels fresh. Although some scenes are voiced, there's a lot of reading involved, and if you take your time to savour the world, it's really worth doing so, which is something that has been missing from the majority of big budget role-playing games that release these days.
You got it. Not feeling.
Number 3.
Ship is that out there? You're the skipper? All the Range Guard shakedown. Need new boots.
The trouble with most stealth games is that they appear to offer a choice of playstyles, yet punish you if you don't play how the developer intended. Dishonored II is different. Both lethal and non-lethal options are available at every turn, and both are entirely viable ways to play the game, making for a challenging and addictive title. It adds to the already brilliant original by offering up a choice of playable characters and loads of new powers to experiment with. Replaying tricky sections over and over doesn't become tedious when every single one of your 20 attempts has allowed you to opt for a different approach. Leaping over the rooftops didn't work? How about sneaking around the side? If that's not successful, try silently knocking out the guards and hiding the bodies. If that fails, attack them with your sword so the trail of bodies won't really matter as everyone's dead. The trial and error nature of the gameplay is brilliant, frankly, and we haven't enjoyed a stealth game this much since the original Metal Gear Solid.
Number 2.
Time to show you what I can really do!
If I only had a gill for every time he said that.
It feels like Final Fantasy has never really been away with all the remakes and spin-offs released over the years, but it's the numbered entries in the series that have always been the main event, and 15 doesn't disappoint. Despite some bland character moments, this features a typically well realised world, great combat and a story that makes no sense. The land of Eos is a staggeringly beautiful and expansive world to explore, and it's filled with characters you'll probably be seeing crop up in cosplay competitions for years to come. It's the combat that's the most surprising part though. In a shocking move, Square Enix have ditched the turn-based systems of old and come up with a thrilling, intuitive real-time system instead, and it works brilliantly. Think back to Dirge of Cerberus on the PS2 and you're almost there. It makes Final Fantasy XV arguably the most accessible entry in the series ever. Newcomers will find it easy to get into, and even some of the non-fans in our team have been impressed.
A tune fit for royalty.
Let's go in and find the marshal.
Number 1.
"9 years is a very long time in gaming, and that's precisely how long it has taken Owlboy to arrive. When development started, the indie explosion hadn't really begun, and games like Fez, Limbo and Braid simply didn't exist. The fact that Owlboy is a better game than all of those I just mentioned is not something we say lightly, and a massive achievement for the small team at D-Pad Studio. It's clearly a game that's been born out of a love for the SNES era of gaming. It has a visual style that constantly reminded us of early 90s Capcom, a storyline with more than a few echoes of Zelda, and the level structure of Metroid. It feels a little different though, because your character can fly, there's almost no platforming involved, and all of the puzzles tend to require carrying other characters to utilise their different skills in new ways. Special mention too for the excellent original soundtrack, which ends up making you wish you'd spent the extra £5 to get the collector's edition. And that wraps up another UKGN Top 5. Tell us what you think in the comments below. This is entirely the opinion of the UKGN team, and we'll be back next month to see what treats December had to offer. Like and subscribe for more great videos like this one. Thanks for watching.